ascertain. You told me you're coming in to work, but you have a business visa. And we know that ICAO, ICAO, and even the IATA, whatever, they have a standard. Business visas are supposed to be endorsed for 2 weeks. But because of ease of doing business in Nigeria, we have granted them 30 days. And you are coming in to work in the Greeks or you in a company, and you spend 6 months, and you're coming with a business visa. And FAN or NCAA or my Honorable Hilda Dokbo will want us to allow maybe 5 minutes to dispatch you. I said, no. Take me to Abuja, I will defend it. That's my life. I defend it anywhere. Because we need to ascertain. It's about security. It's not about aviation, like everything people talk about, customer protection, customer rights, and whatever. But we talk about the security. Not only security of gun and machete, but security of you and I and our children. Unemployment is everywhere. What the expatriates that come in do. We have designations for jobs, positions that are meant for Nigerians. So when we need to ascertain, whether you are coming in to take this job that are meant for Nigerians, or you are actually coming in and your company has a quota, and of course the quota has a designation, and your CV, your curriculum vitae is vetted. But most of these things are not done. Anyway, I don't want to go to policies. And when I was brought to Port Harcourt International Airport to sanitize Port Harcourt International. Take my name, take my NIS number, 11433, Google it, and you see what I do single-handedly in Nigeria Immigration Service. So I am this type that if I come in, I sanitize you because I don't need anything from you. I told you I've worked before with Metropolitan Police, so there's nothing you would give me that I think I don't have. I don't want to have the massive everything, but I am contented with what I have. So the truth of the matter is that at the airport, almost everybody at the airport, irrespective of your agency, do immigration job.
Not the NCA.
Well, the NCA does not have a desk. You have a desk out. You don't have a desk in. You don't have a desk in. So the truth of the matter is that everybody asks for your travel document. And by the time you come in, probably you are stressed from that first entrance. And you see, people talk about delay. I want NCA to please beg the airliners. I'm not apportioning blame to them because the blames, as far as I'm concerned, is collaborative. It touches all of us. But the airline, you cannot announce boarding, departure boarding of your flight, and after 2 hours, immigration will be in their various cubicles waiting for a passenger to come up. No single passenger comes up after 2 hours of announcement. Then, when you start, you had all ample time, remove, so change your baggage, excess luggage, this, that, and you do all that. You took your time and did all that with your passengers. And when it is 5 minutes to closure of your boarding gate, 2, 3, 4 passengers filters upstairs to immigration. And they have immigration problems. And when we want to do our work, one airline will come up to stand. Immigration, please. He missed his flight. So, are we going to let immigration job undone because somebody somewhere is about to miss his flight or her flight when you have delayed the person or two?
I want this to be as interactive as possible, then because of time as well.
Okay.
My question.
Yeah.
I wanted you to speak since you are not designated speaker. I want to give you the time to speak. But the question is, whether right or wrong, do your officers demand request money from passengers?
Okay. Now let me go straight to that. No right thinking immigrant. Out of the 12, there's always a Judas. No right-thinking immigration officer that is ideal with his job that will demand anything from a passenger, because once you get to the cubicle, what we do is we ask for your travel document. And once you present it, if you don't have any immigration problem, we endorse you. You go. But if it is about collection, you see, at the airport, they have this understanding, the firm, the customer relations, that bribery and gratification is a crime, is prohibited. But you see, there are places in every part of the world where gratification is not a crime. It depends on the type of gratification. Everywhere we know what tip means. If it is voluntary from the staff, from the passenger, it's voluntary. Some people will walk in, like a case last week. A case of last week, a woman walked in, and that was her birthday. And she was so happy with joy. Oh, today is my birthday and whatever. And she gave some stipends of $5 to some officers, not only Nigerian Immigration Service. And CCTV captured it, and it was like, oh yeah, they collected money and whatever. I investigated it. I'm still on it. If I find them guilty, because the lady herself has been contacted and she actually confirmed that it was her birthday. You understand? So extortion is not allowed in Nigerian immigration and can never be allowed. And I tell you, if you see any immigration officer at Port Harcourt International Airport that extorts, the only thing I do is that I'm not hasty in confirmation of anything. What I do is I investigate it, and if I investigate it and that person is found culprit, I remove the person with sanctions.
This is where I was going. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you. So 2 things are instructive for me. The confidence with which you have dared everybody, to find you wanting on your job. It tells me you're an upright person, and we commend you for that. Secondly, you did mention that my people come to beg for people whose passports are not in order. CPOs, is this true? You want to enable crime? I'm just joking, sir. Thank you. Before Mr. Abels comes up, let's hear from the NDLEA, please. Hello, can we have one house, please? Thank you.
Okay, good evening all members of the distinguished high table. Yes, same question. Okay, I am Mr. Idris A. Mohammed, Deputy Commander of NDA for Narcotics, presently serving in Port Harcourt International Airport. I am standing to represent our Special Area Commander in person of Engineer Nathaniel Audunegedu, who is presently having an official obligation. So I am wearing a very big shoe on behalf of my boss. To start with, security agencies play a critical role in ensuring safety and security airport operations. We work in collaboration with every other sister agencies in the airport. Our intention is the same, ensuring safety and security of both passengers and all their items they're traveling with. In particular, NDLEA, our role is highly defined. We know very well what is happening. The problem of drugs all over the globe is a global phenomenon. Nigeria is never a drug-producing nation, but based on security reasons, people that are ever ready to become rich within a twinkle of an eye, they make use of our airports and other ports, the seaports, to make sure that they traffic drugs to other international communities. So our role in NDLEA is to make sure that we checked all these very particular infractions or rather crime. I'll call it crime because drug problem is a crime, it's a criminal case. Within a very short period of time, I believe we've achieved 2 convictions within the airport. People with bad intention wanting to traffic drugs. I have the OC of Immigration seated, he will bear me witness. All passengers and their items, their luggages, at the screening point, more especially at the baggage, we make sure that we systematically and thoroughly search it to ensure that no any traveler escape with any drug substance in any form, be it synthetic or in its raw forms. So we have our officers at the baggage, we have officers at the inner baggage, we have our officers at the arrival as well. With the coming of our area commander, special area commander, he makes sure that at the gate, entrance into the airport, we have a patrol team there, ensuring that all people with bad intention wanting to come in or pass with drugs are being intercepted. I think we arrested 1 person there, and within the baggage, we arrested 1 there with a tramadol as well. Within this very short period of time, we work hand in hand. Unfortunately, we don't have customs here, in collaboration.
Minimal interaction with the passengers.
Definitely, we tried that because of time and fast kind of, movement of passengers. We do it within the airport, within our own possible domain. We have the scanning machine, but the trend of drug trafficking presently, as we are trying to counter them, they are trying to counter our intelligence as well. To the extent that travelers, they do what you call false bottom mode of concealment. They will go to factories, trolley, inside it, right from the company. They will make sure that drugs are being, concealed there. So our work
concealed where? In their shoes or bags?
Inside both shoes, both luggages, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So it is very difficult. Our work requires a kind of thorough and synthetic kind of search for us to do.
So in carrying out this duty,
yes,
why do they ask for money?
For money?
Yes.
It's an aberration. It's not allowed in NDLE. It's never and never accepted. And whosoever is found, I wouldn't want to prolong it, whosoever is found definitely is going to be sanctioned. That's how it is.
One house, please. Please. Hello, CPOs. Let's stay together, please. Thank you. I'm playing devil's advocate with my questions. Okay. I am not blaming you. I'm simply asking the questions I know people want to ask.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If we return,
please, can I give reference to Port Harcourt International Airport?
Of course.
Yes, where we have a system. We have a monitoring team there that goes about comprising of all security agencies. Of recent, my own staff is being added into that very particular group, going around to make sure that as operations are going on, they are observing to make sure that using CCTV and every other thing to avoid infractions. Anybody being caught eventually is going to be sanctioned. There is that very system in place. I think the AFSEC boss eventually can corroborate what I'm trying to say.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. A round of applause, please. I'm going to, before Mr. Abels comes up, we'll just take 1 or 2 from the audience. If you have a question, not NCA, I don't want NCA staff yet, until after Mr. Abels is done. If you have a question. So we get a lot of complaints every day, then you get the opportunity to ask these questions. So only Hilda Dokuba will ask the questions. Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear a Nigerian say, I'm sanitizing a place. It reassures you that in the 200 and whatever million Nigerians, there's still a few you can trust. So thank you very much, Mr. Ogunjofo. Okay. So my question is this. You have said if they are found, they will be sanctioned. I do not like to speak without proof. Please, in the next 2 weeks, wear a mufti, look different, look like the young boy, right? Mystery shopper, and let us go to the airport. We will find your corrupt officers that you need to teach what to do. Because they need to know that there are people like you who will not take it. I'm not talking about your interaction with Nigeria, with foreigners, saying you should allow a foreigner come in. No, I'm saying I'm a Nigerian bearing the passports that you gave to me, not another passport. And then you hold my passport and you are asking me questions that are right in front of you, only to end up like Nigerian police. Please, sir, help us deal with it. My question is actually to the airlines. That's where my question is.
Okay.
If I have given my rights to my agent to buy me a ticket, and I'm also a frequent flyer on your airline, when my name is put in, does it bring up my details or not? If it does bring up my details, can my agent just simply change all the numbers? Now, let me share this experience and why I'm asking this question. An agent bought a ticket, and I went to the before the flight. I saw that the number there was not mine, and the email was not mine. But I had a flight before this particular one. So I went to the airport, and I changed both the email and the phone numbers. And they did that perfectly. There was no problem. But when it was time for communication, they neither communicated to me nor to the agent. Right? So is it possible for them to book somebody's flight who is a frequent flyer with them with another person's details except for your name? Is it possible?
Okay.
I don't know.
The airlines are here. Is there a travel agent here?
Please let me make a hold on, sir. Please let me make a comment. Let me make a comment about the question and what Oga said.
We must close by 5 p.m. So let's hurry up,
yes.
please.
Now, please, the officer said something which I want to clarify. He said gratification is not a crime. That is not the position of the law. Gratification is a crime in Nigeria. Fact check me. Section 22 and Section 23 of the ICPC Act. Officers, public officers, are the only category of people that you cannot even give tip. You can't give them tip. That is, even if they sit down quietly, they didn't ask, they didn't even suggest, you just like the way they look. If you give them tip, they're supposed to refuse. It's gratification. It's a crime, and it carries, the penalty is that you will pay 5 times the gratification amount and 5 years imprisonment or both. So you can go to the restaurant and eat and give tip, but you can't give an NDA officer tip. You can't give him tip. So okay, he talk now, I just fall in love with him. I can't give him tip.
Okay.
Then secondly, what Madam said, there's a legal angle to it, sir. Before the agent, the people respond, Madam, you are calling the person you are agent. He is your agent now. So it is even a breach of contract for the airlines to interfere into the contract you have entered with your agent. You are the one that say, you are saying my agent. So you went to the person and brought the person. So the person has the right to buy ticket with any number. If you have any issues, you follow up the person. Then the airline will deal with your agent. So agency relationship in law is that, it's like marriage. Nobody can come and interfere anyhow. That's my comment, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. It's good to know.
Thank you. I've just been told that the VP, I think that to be Vice President, National Association of Nigeria Travel Agencies or Agents, NANTA, is here. Can you be upstanding? Please, a round of applause for him. And please, come forward. Come forward. Because you are going to answer a little bit of the question. Please. Well, you heard the questions, yes? Okay, or do you permit her to answer on your behalf? Because of time, she heard the question. Yes, please. Well, the lawyer has actually answered that question. Yes. So let's give 2 minutes to listen to Mr. Abels, and before Mrs. Ulo Ikwo comes up to talk of her experiences as well. Okay, thank you.
Evening, everybody. My name is Bene Benibo. This is personal one. I don't even know who I'm directing this question to, but it's something that has bothered me. On several occasions, you carry your personal stuffs. Let me be specific, like parental, all those fresh stuffs. You want to give it as gifts, well packaged. Tell you to get a cooler bag, well packaged, and pack through the screening ports. Cleared, you've gone up, waiting for your flight to take off, and you just hear your name announced that you have some stuff you have to come and clarify. On 2 occasions that happened to me, I went down and all they tell me is, Madam, these stuffs are huge and they are contrabands. Madam, you didn't pay us any money to travel with them. And I asked a question. This is my country. I am licensed to travel with these stuffs. I had them well packaged in cooler bags. They've passed the screening. I'm seated waiting for my flights, and you announced my name as if I had some illegal stuff like drugs in my luggages. It's embarrassing. So I don't know why they do that. And at the end of the day, you come down and they tell you, Madam, you need to give us some stuff.
Is AFSEC here?
So it's something that has happened to me twice or thrice. Thank you so much.
Antine? This has happened to me before. Mrs. Perro, answer this one quickly.
Yes. Good evening. I just want to say something briefly with regards to your question. You know, maybe what are the things you are carrying and they call you, and the people that are in charge of that is quarantine. Now, normally what we do to our passengers, sometimes they feel they know more. You know, if you have something that you are taking out, you need to declare, you need to go to quarantine, and they give you a certificate. Like if you are going to a country, you are going to US. Like there was a time I traveled with okra. You know, when I got to Atlanta, they took the okra from me, that there's an infection, they will not allow it. Now, there are other things I went with. I went to quarantine, they gave me a certificate. Now, when they see you with those things and you show them the certificate, I don't think, maybe you did not declare those things. And that is why you're having problem. So it's good for us to declare those things. Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Abels, please. Mr. Abels. Yeah.
Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for coming in late. I wear several caps. On this particular instance, wearing the cap of the Executive Director of the Extra Step Initiative. It's an initiative to pursue, insist, demand best practices from public institutions. When we had the issue of the suit in Port Harcourt, we led the demonstrations 1 and 2. When the women were being... Hello. Hello. Hello.
Battery, who's in charge of this mic? Use this one.
When the girls were being murdered, we insisted on demanding action from the police. The stakeholders in the aviation sectors will have been told everybody, and the chief manager is the Federal Minister of Aviation, and I think the name has been modified partly. The chief manager is younger than me, so he looks exactly like me. Kayamabi is my friend. He knows me, yeah. In Nigeria, just less than 500 meters from here, that was the airport we had. We used to wear Shoibi to go there. The Port Harcourt International Airport was built in our typical fashion until I took up the action in this day. They took up the departure hall, rented them all out as stores. They started loading international passengers on the tarmac. On the tarmac, I have pictures. I had to pay for the bus to carry it. We had University of Ibadan and the teaching hospital, where the Saudi families used to come. Today, we have several airports, but the services keep dwindling. We had the Nigerian police, which also did the job of the immigration, NDLA. We've created more bureaucracies, but until now that the immigration, congratulations to your man, he's doing very well, and to General, who was there to stand, and most of you to come on this road show. Please, I want to commend NCA. And I also want to commend you for the way you handled the chopper crash off the Bonny River, how the public were engaged. I know it's another department, Accident Investigative Bureau, but NCA was, yes, you people were on top of your game, and the public was carried up. Previously, in the past, it was an Ogboni affair, as if you never heard anything about it, but I can stand and tell people, I know when the black box was obtained, I can tell you when they found out, I can tell you, because I'm aware, free information. We're here today. The rights of customers are abused from all your toilets, from Port Harcourt up to the last point is when the flight takes off. We know the airlines are all suffering because of exchange rate. Their services are dollar denominated. Their inputs are dollar denominated. They are bending and cutting corners to manage a 1 hour flight to be beyond $100 so that people can afford to fly. And the roads are all bad. I don't engage in a conversation that will not add profit. We are now in that season. I am not seeing any deliberate action to maximize, optimize profit from this season that is about. In the next 2 weeks, the pressure is going to come up. We're going to go back to where we are. A lot have been discussed, ticket refund, and I am saying as stakeholders, from if you go to the shops have started emerging in the departure line, so passengers are beginning to get that to stand. That thing, Oyibo 9 build them, create the space, and they rent them out. If we allow, we'll rent it all out. I'm just showing you basically. Then now, if you look from this general aviation terminal, go and check the cabin crew. I know training of personnel, certification of personnel is part of your responsibility. Fly a private jet, see the quality of staff. I came back, I live in Abuja. I came with an airline, and I was scared for the quality of cabin crew they had. Who is checking? Now, your sister organization, you know there's oath taking. Civil servants don't attack each other. I've experienced people. Can NCAA confront FAN to live up to her responsibility without beyond revenue generation? I don't know. I will leave it. I have friends in your system. Yeah. So everybody is hiding behind operational reasons. I can automate your system. Some of your colleagues are my former colleagues. I can automate your system that once the failure begins from checking, I'll be receiving alerts, customers will be, supervisors will begin to receive alerts that something is going wrong, this particular flight is going to go wrong, not going to go on time, and something is going to happen. We were here. An aircraft was found with water in its tanks. If not for God, what has happened to that matter? Swept under the carpet. We were here, an aircraft had untreaded tires, had a near miss. We were here, the swept, same airline. It has been swept under the carpet. It's over a year now. Nobody's saying anything. How did it happen? What were the sanctions against the supplier? You've done well. There's been no incident. But I am seeing the danger signs everywhere, particularly when people begin to cut corners because of cost. It's a dollar-denominated input. I'm a former banker, so I know what I'm talking about. I need you to use the public as a feedback mechanism. Ask NCA, because your section, to set up a Twitter page. It will be live. It will be live. So you just get feedback, so they don't go to the general one and distract the whole organization. So once airlines are going back, they have numbers to call, they have people to call, they have people to engage, because the biggest problem in Nigeria, including when they jam your guys, who I know, who I go call. Let us not know everybody, but let us know somebody to call. Where we are, if we don't do anything, because after you've done this, some people will accuse you of witch hunting, and you would tell, in the like say, "I'm better person." I faced that when I did it, when I was conscripted into the civil service on a project. But it doesn't matter, like what he has done. See the way uniform straight, you know where he's coming from. See the way you come out and be playing the advocate, I know where you're coming from. I've never met you, but I know where you're coming from. They'll think you're mad, but you'll become the reference point. So ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a rush. We need to ensure that there will be no overbooking. We need to ensure that the fuel coming into the system, particularly refinery falling, refinery not falling, we need to be sure of good quality. We need to be sure that airlines are not bringing in people that are not certified to fly in certain areas. We need to just check mystery shopping, general supervision, that this is what we want to do. All those your units, about 6 of them or 7 of them, yes, this is what we want, and we want to see it from your receptionist to this point, whether you like it or not. We've made our position. So if anything goes wrong, we'll push the blame direct to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Round of applause. Somebody needs to take charge of these microphones, please. If it's battery issues, we'll sort them out. Thank you for the feedback. If there's anything we appreciate, it's feedback, because it's the only way we can improve what we do. Not everything you say is very accurate, but because of time, we'll move on. Mrs. Ikwo Ulo here has been the General Manager Consumer Protection for a while, even before I became director. Can you tell us some of your most remarkable experiences as a chief CPO in time past and what obtains now? 3 minutes exactly you have.
Thank you, my director. I'm here to, these all protocols observed. I'm here to tell everybody that as consumer protection, the CPD department of NCA protects the service providers as well as the service consumers. So it's to make the industry habitable for everybody. So it's not only the passengers that we protect. So that means that the passengers, they do have their own responsibilities. First of all, I'll talk about time, getting to the airport on time. 2 hours before the departure time for local flights, 3 hours before departure time for international flights. That gives you enough time to sort out any issues that might arise. And then when it comes to baggage, you're expected to pack your baggage yourself. You're expected, as a passenger, you're supposed to pack your baggage. And when you read through the terms, T's and C's of your ticket, you will see what is involved. So you will know the kg per package, per baggage, how many baggages are allowed, and the items that are even allowed in your check-in. and items that are not allowed on your carry-on. So all these things are supposed to guide you so that when you go to catch your flight, these things will not cause a delay. And Madam Asiwe, you talked about your baggage that got missing. In the industry, my director had already said that 7 days for domestic, for international is 21 days. Is at the end of the 7 days or 21 days that your baggage will be declared missing and there's compensation. And I would also like to advise those traveling internationally, especially for people who most probably did not even request for your compensation because you should be compensated if it's missing. Maybe you didn't know about that. But yes, I always tell people who go shopping, who like to shop, when you shop, please put your receipts in your bag. Travel with your receipts in your handbag, your carry-on, and hold on to them. Clutch onto it, because if anything happens and you have to be paid compensation, you be paid compensation based on the laws, based on what Montreal Convention covers. But if you have your receipts, you stand a better chance of getting a better bargain. So that's that. And then for assistance, if you're a passenger who needs assistance to travel, maybe like a wheelchair or anything of the sort, it is very important that you let the airlines know 48 hours to your departure so they can get ready for you. Everybody's important. So whether you're disabled in one form or the other does not make you less than the other human being. You know, like one person I've said, after all, we're all disabled. If you're wearing glasses, you have a disability. I wear glasses, so one tooth is missing. So they are all disabilities. So basically that's it. And I would like to use this medium to say thank you very much for honoring our invitation. The NCAA has rebranded. The acting director general was the director of consumer protection, and he handed over the very strong hand. And my minister is customer centric. So it's all, there are people who are, interested in how the consumer feels at the end of the day. They need to see that you're satisfied. They need to see that you have value for your money. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oga, just now, I'm coming. Just now, someone tagged me to a tweet. Some days ago, he had tagged me, mentioning that, what airline was this? Was owing him money. Was owing him money, a refund, and they had not done so for over 40 days. All I needed to do, I just had to screenshot it now. All I needed to do was tag the airline and ask them to fast track, in line with Part 19 of the NCA regulations. That deals with consumer protection, Part 19. He just tweeted at me now saying, Mike Achumugu, thank you so much. I have gotten my long-awaited refund from Green Africa after over 65 days. I reached out and you intervened. The rest is, this is something that happens every day. And it's not just about me. All of them here is what they do. 207 of them. We need more staff, definitely. The unit directly responsible for dealing with those complaints is the Flight Operations and Adjudication Unit. That's where the complaints go. Their head is Ifeko Abdul Malik, who also doubles as the SSA to the DGCA. I would like her to come and also tell us a little bit about the process of handling these complaints so that people can understand what we have to pass through to resolve these issues and to know, for the world to know that we are not sleeping at all. Ifeko. Very briefly, please.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to stand on existing protocols. Like my director and GM has said, we have just recently launched the Consumer Protection Portal to make it easier for complainants to submit their complaints. What this portal allows us to do is to monitor resolution timelines, monitor staff performance, receive disruption reports from the airlines real time, on time, and of course to monitor how the airlines perform. When a complaint is lodged with NCA, immediately get a response stating, okay, we have received your complaint, and it will take us about 7 days, because what the regulation says is the airline has 7 days to investigate the complaints and get back to us. After 7 days, then we wait for whatever resolution timelines follow. For complaints on refund, the regulation says refund should be made in cash. So if you buy a ticket in cash, you should get your refund in cash. If you buy your ticket, immediately. And then if you buy your ticket by bank transfers, credit cards, debit cards, you get it within 14 days. If it's a bag issue, the airline has 7 days for domestic flights and 21 days for international flights. But again, if it's something that can be found immediately, the airline searches for it and returns the bag to the passenger and offers what we call first need. What other complaint? Denied boarding, downgrade, upgrade. If a passenger is downgraded, the airline should give a refund of the difference in fare and compensation. Upgrade, no compensation. So we have different timelines for complaint resolution. But within 7 days, you must get a response from the airline. And then if no response, we follow up with a letter of investigation and compliance and enforcement actions. These actions lead to sanctions, but we would not sanction except that case is established as an infraction against the passenger. Anything else? Okay, so the Nigeria Civil Aviation Regulation prescribes passenger rights and airline obligations to passenger. Where a flight is delayed, cancelled, a passenger is denied boarding against their will, or where a passenger fails to discharge their own responsibilities. So we do not only protect the airlines, we not only protect the passengers, we also protect the airlines. Again, we have unruly passenger legislation, so where a passenger is unruly, the NCA can fine the passenger or get the passenger arrested and locked up. So we protect airlines and service providers. Our regulation is enforced. Thank you.
Yeah, we have 15 minutes to close in, so let's.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mina, and I'm the MD lead Max Travels and Tours, and I'm the VP for an international organization that's one of the oldest in the travel industry. But I'll be, first and foremost, I want to commend the NCAA, especially under this regime, because we really feel your presence. As much as there are lots to be done, we won't take it for granted that you're creating more awareness. I'll start from an angle. Okay, let me say I will start as a travel agent. Now, like I will say to my clients, I'm not your regular travel agent. So I can talk from a point of being a passenger, being a service provider as well, and by God's grace, I'm properly traveled. So basically, things that we complain about here, it's not as if you don't get such issues out of here. But because of the fact that there are cameras, Nigerians, whether anyone likes it or not, are one of the most hospitable people and understanding people, even when we don't have to understand. But because other countries have regulatory systems, they are being watched, however, like cameras. It seems like, yes, the system works. So yes, we try because, okay, we've not gotten our processes right, you understand? But I would like to say, coming from a travel agency's point of view, having a lot of complaints from our clients, things as normal as, there was a time, I don't know if it's still the same amount, they would say you can come into the country with goods worth over 50,000 naira. Haba. We're Nigerians. I come from a family of 14. Let's be practical. This is my immediate family. You understand? This is my birth family where I was born into. I'm not even talking about my immediate family where I'm married. So as much as we're trying to regulate things, yes, we don't have any we can have as much children as we want, but we should be able to have policies that are tailored to our kind of culture, right? Then for things like the immigration, if I'm not mistaken, I think I always notice him in his office. And for any time he's there, there's no beating around the bush. There are some officers that are not doing what they're supposed to do. But I can tell, I don't know you before, but I can tell that whenever he's there, even if you want to give them, they will tell your guys around. So as much as there's a lot to be done, let's commend those ones. Then please, we need to put out policies properly. Like I think Cassie said, right? That's your name, yeah. Sorry, said that there's a platform that has been launched. You understand? That is a platform that has been launched. Is really needed, because sometimes you see, say for example, Epis may say, if you come late, you understand, you get this. But Dana may not apply because they are two different companies. So when an Epis does this in a particular similar situation, a normal passenger is expecting the next airline to be able to do that, because the terms and regulations are too tiny. It's not a Nigerian factor. It's an aviation thing. It's most companies, I don't know if they make it like that so that you miss something. I don't know. You understand? But like normal practical ones that we know we always have issues about should try to be put out, because the heat we get as travel agents, we understand that ever since COVID and basically because of the tsunami of relocation, you understand, the Japa syndrome, it's been an issue to run businesses. That is why we're having issues with the bank apps. Our tech guys are leaving. We understand that. But first things first, I tell people, no matter the business you're running, take quality over quantity. So once you choke yourself, well, let me tell you to the airline, once you choke yourself to more than you can chew, the end result is that there must be chaos. So naturally, there are times when you set all the systems in place, something may still go wrong. Now, you may train somebody today and say you're occupying this position. You don't know the person has applied for PR or applied for something that will make the person leave. That leaves you hanging. You understand? When that email comes, some other person has to come again just in case there's no trail. So please, whoever is attending to the client, the customer, at whatever time, should please make sure that you are as polite as you can be. Because they say a better mouth or better soup, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's a way situation can be very bad, but the way you come about it matters. A lot of us don't like feedbacks. A lot of us, we like the feedbacks of, oh, you're doing nice and all that. But those feedbacks that pinches us are actually those ones that will make us grow. So please, let's also look into that. Thank you.
Round of applause. Please quickly note that not all regulatory areas are under the purview of the NCAA, right? And the issue of the quantity and amount you can bring into the country is not our purview. And let's be clear about that. Issue of information and awareness, like I said, we'll keep doing more, but I keep asking the question, how much awareness is enough awareness? I'll give you an instance, Mr. Omoren. I was live on your channel the other day, and the interviewer was very bitter. The person interviewing me, she got almost personal, in fact, very personal. She said she was a victim of an airline, and she said to me that she has no idea what we do. And I was surprised because you have an aviation correspondent who is in my office almost every other day, and I have paid money to AIT and aired the NCA consumer protection jingles on your channel. So if I have gone to that length with your station, for instance, how can you blame me that a staff of that institution does not know about us? I am on Twitter every day and night. Every day and night, getting tagged to complaints every time. I'm responding. My staffers are working 24/7. How much information, how much awareness is enough?
Let me tell you something. When folks are personally affected by something, there is sometimes not enough time. They hit very direct because they are pained. I'm just looking at my news platform now. My reporter in the Senate just posted, Senate summons Aviation Minister Keyam over persistent. There's a government agency in charge. What are they doing? Just as much as the media attacks these people, security agencies, anytime there's armed robbery, kidnapping, bombing, we want to hold government accountable. So don't take it personal when you see these things happening. As media and as individuals, that is what they do. Okay?
What amount of awareness is enough? Every amount. Keep doing it. Say it in proper English. Say it in gatherings like this. Say it in pidgin English. Say it in local language. Let people know. And you see, there's something about rewards. If you punish one person, and we all see that one person has been punished, others go comply. We will mend you. And so that I just give you so you can round off, I have a personal appeal. I use nearly all the airlines because of this, but this is a special appeal and request for Port Harcourt Airport. When you come into the airport, after you pay fans 500 naira, whatever it is, our road is not smooth. Then you drop off. It's also not good enough. But before the person leaves, if you're going to pick somebody, they request you to pay another 500. So you pay 500 for entering the airport. Then you pay 500 for picking somebody. Then even the drive out is miserable. So please, can you, I don't know how to talk to, is it Fan and whoever is in charge of that place. Please, Port Harcourt Airport, may they help us before we help them.
Mine is just simply this. The website, simple adverts, 1 minute, not on mainstream media. Mainstream will be there so that Tibe won't beat me up. But like social media, no, just target, as just those kids, they, you know, there's an association for social media. There's a union in Lagos, there's in Port Harcourt and in Lagos. Give it to them. WhatsApp number to call, website, and just straight bullet points. You'll be amazed what happened. And like she said, then the other ridiculous one to find. We cannot be collecting cash at our airports now. We know you can't account for that money.
Yeah, please, another thing I want to suggest is we can be talking about service providers sending bounties to all of us. What about the people? You and I are the people, agreed. But the flight users, okay? Please, let the public know that it is not, we are not saints and we are not masquerades. We are not wizards. They should come to the airport on time and check in timely, and they should conduct themselves and try to surrender to all agencies where necessary. If you know the documents you're supposed to provide or produce, please come with them. And it is not when it is late you come up. There are people, NDLA is here, I will tell you people, it's not all about customer. I am this type that I will always tell a passenger that is airing, excuse me, we are here to serve you, but you are here to conduct yourself as well. You understand? And some of them, they are hale and hearty. At times, like what she suggested, that I should go on mufti and whatever. Yes, I'm a smart looking. I was a model in the past. So I wear my jean and body hug, and I go around. And I tell you, I'll be up there, sighting downstairs. I will see passengers that are hale and hearty, you know, addressing all their baggages and whatever. But at the 11th hour, when it is remaining 5 minutes or so to end boarding, you see them on wheelchair. You see them on wheelchair, and some of them carry drugs. What are we talking about? I have evidences. I collaborate with NDLA a whole lot because I am a super security agent. I do all this. I can investigate you without you knowing. So please tell the public to place a jingle to AIT. It's not only social media. One thing I don't like about social media is that a lot of lies fly there. A lot of lies fly on social media. So go to the mainstream and let the public know what. If you come to immigration, please surrender your documents. Go to NDLA, calm down. Surrender. If you have any problem in your family, sort it out when you get to your family and not at the port of entry or port of departure, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Round of applause. I agree with you, sir. What? See, this is like late boarding. You're coming late to the airport. You see, you're here since you no talk. I offered you a microphone. You rejected it.
I checked online. I checked it online. Okay. So, okay, good afternoon. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm sorry for coming late. We had a council meeting, so I had to come in this afternoon. So, thank you very much. I think I actually came in. I love what you said. And maybe that's where I'm at from. Consumer protection. I believe I represent the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agents, Vice President. So I lead the agencies in the 11 states in both the South-Southeast region. So when I talk, I'm talking case-specific and generic. I'll start with what you said. You see, an organization leader, the head of an organization, can be very functional, but there is little she can do alone. I'll give an instance. You might remember, I think this is the second time we are meeting. We had a meeting in your office, and after that meeting, I rushed to the airport. And an airline canceled my flight just that same 2 hours before departure. And I just got the message. Now, you had given me a number. I called that number, no response. I sent a message, maybe the reply came, but the network blocked it because I didn't get it. But I would have said it's a norm, but because I know, I have seen you solve a lot of problems. I've seen you for colleagues, and so I would say that could be a one-off thing. Why did I say that? Everybody knows you are active, but you are not necessarily the organization. There is a team that works with you. If all of us here send you a message, there's a possibility you might skip some. So first thing is the consumer protection team or whoever we're talking to, just like you said, you need more hands. But again, I feel in cases where, even at the airport, where you report, there seems to be I don't want to say a Nigerian thing, where man, no man. Because, for instance, it is easier for your staff at the airport who sees the airline staff always to be emotional towards them. I will give you an instance. I'm coming. Okay, sir. So that's that. Then the check-in thing you talked about. Regulation is clear on hours before check-in, so 2 hours. But the regulation is not clear on the boarding. I don't think there's anything on that. Because, yes, it's 2 hours for check-in. But it's very possible I check in online and I can board within 30 minutes. That's the standard. That's the standard. Now, okay, so we have checked in. Then also flight cancellation. I think most of our members are having this particular issue. We have cases where some airlines, maybe after I will talk to you about it, I will not call a name, where messages are sent to passengers that the flight has been cancelled, and we find out that that same flight operated. And at the end of the day, members are under pressure. That has to be looked into. That's one. Then also airline pricing. I don't know, December now, flights, maybe I'll talk for my region. Flights to this region tend to be more expensive than in other regions. I don't know the difference between flying from Lagos to Port Harcourt or Owerri in December and flying Port Harcourt and Owerri in March. It's the same flight, the same price. So I would want to know what consumer protection is doing to do that. It doesn't make sense for me to fly December 300,000 naira when I flew in 150 in March. Yes, just 3 more, please.
3 more?
2 more. Okay, so okay, then also the airlines. Okay, I've talked about the airlines coming to the zone, to the region, and also I want to ask. This is a question now. What is NCA doing to encourage foreign airlines to fly into the region? We have Port Harcourt International Airport. We have Enugu International Airport. You said? Basa. Okay. Okay, I know. So that's what I would want to know. Since it's not in NCA purview, I guess that would, I wouldn't want to talk on that demand and supply. After this, we'll talk about it. But I don't want to. I will talk after.
Like the immigration man talks confidently about himself. You know, I speak like that about myself too. I'm good at what I do, and I'm doing my job, right? But I also will speak the same of my CPOs as well. If you did place a call and it didn't happen, the likely circumstance is what also happens physically at the terminals, where many times I get the complaints. I'm guilty of that as well. I will accuse them in the group that nobody, the officer on duty is not around. But I find out while I was at departure, he was at arrival or baggage area solving problems for other people. So it's possible that that's what happened in your case. They are very efficient. I believe that very much. The NCA does not set prices for airfares. And please, it's important. Let us please take note that airline business is not charity. They are also affected by the same economic challenges and indices that you also use to apply to run your own business as well. Nigeria, as much as I admit that Nigerians pay high airfares internationally, those things are being looked into. But if you even check local flights abroad too, there's a lot we can say in that regard. But it's not a conversation that we can finish today, right? Now, unruly passengers, there are regulations about that. Yes, and we have been speaking a lot about that. Most of our campaigns in my time as director have been tailored towards that, right? We'll keep doing more. We don't get tired. And about the media thing, we are on traditional media, we're on social media. We're not really, we'll just keep ramping it up. Yes? Yes. Please speak well of my officers next time. And now they are going to be uniformed. So anywhere you see them, if they misbehave, report them. Report them. But I can bet you will hardly catch them in that way. I trust my people. They have uniforms, yes. Not just these beautiful T-shirts. They have their corporates coming up as well. So, yes, we are good with that. On this note, please, there's so much we can keep talking and talking about, but these conversations will continue to next year as well. So we'll meet again. I'd like to thank all of you, please, for taking the time. Thank you so much. It was at short notice, but you made it. I appreciate you. Bye-bye, sir. You've never failed me, and thank you once again. Augusta, thank you so much. You're an outstanding officer, and we have an affirmation from someone who doesn't know you personally, and so I will mention this on our social media, about you. Sir, thank you so very much for coming. Oga, I don't know if to call you media personality or activist or all, but thank you so much for the feedback. I assure you that we'll reach out to you and we'll have conversations further. Ma, thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. A round of applause for all of them, all of them. And for you too, you may not have spoken, but we see you. You know, I used to be a customs officer, so I left customs in 2016. So I did salute yes, like you before. Thank you so much for coming. And to everybody else, thanks for your patience. I hope that food got to you, because I remember one event we went, people fight well for food matter. I hope food got to you, and I hope you are going back with 1 or 2 lessons. For the NCAA, my CPOs, please, never mind the fact that I praise you publicly. We cannot, remember, I keep saying that we have achieved 65% case resolution record, which is actually an all-time high. It's not 100%. And I always say this, no matter how good anything is, it can be made better. We can still do better, and we will do it. Do I have your commitment? So the next time Hilda Dokubo speaks about aviation in public, she's going to specifically mention you guys and commend you. That's our commitment? Clap for yourselves. So with this, thank you too. We bring this event officially to a close. Safe travels to everybody. And the gentlemen of the press, if they are still here, they spent all day with us. Man, thank you so much. I will meet with you now after the show. God bless you all. Have a lovely day ahead. Yeah, let's have some photographs here. Jim, Feko, Madam Pero, Beppo, Aja, Julia, Jafar. Yes, Jafar. Yes.